It happened without warning. One moment the world was humming along, the glow of screens lighting up offices and homes, the next, a chilling stillness. There was no hint, no rumor, no countdown. Just an abrupt, unsettling silence that swept through the digital corridors of America's biggest company. On a quiet Monday, Amazon announced it was leaving America, immediately. The news hit like a thunderclap, echoing through empty parking lots and shuttered office doors. Employees, customers, and partners alike were left in disbelief, staring at screens that no longer responded. The website went dark in an instant. Prime deliveries, once a symbol of speed and reliability, stopped mid-route, leaving packages stranded in trucks and warehouses. Alexa devices, once chatty and ever-present, fell silent, their blue rings extinguished, leaving homes eerily quiet. For millions, it was like losing electricity overnight. The familiar routines, ordering groceries, streaming movies, asking Alexa for the weather, were suddenly impossible. Confusion and disbelief spread as people tried to process what had just happened. The nation's digital heartbeat stopped, replaced by stunned silence. Newsrooms, usually buzzing with activity, sat in darkness, their monitors blank. Time itself seemed to pause, as if the country was holding its breath, waiting for answers that wouldn't come. Panic swept from Wall Street to Main Street. The Dow plunged, erasing trillions in value in a matter of hours. Investors scrambled, phones rang off the hook, and small towns felt the shockwaves as local businesses braced for the unknown. News anchors struggled to process the scale of the decision. Live broadcasts were filled with speculation and disbelief as journalists tried to piece together the story behind Amazon's sudden exit. The nation watched, searching for clarity in a sea of confusion. Small business owners stared at blank screens, their livelihoods gone in a flash. Entrepreneurs who had built their dreams on Amazon's platform faced an uncertain future. Their shops closed, their plans upended overnight. The convenience Americans took for granted, two-day shipping, endless selection, vanished. Store shelves emptied quickly, and shoppers found themselves frustrated, unable to order even the simplest items. The digital marketplace that once connected millions was suddenly out of reach. The logistics industry, third-party sellers and warehouse workers were suddenly adrift. Conveyor belts stopped, packages piled up, and thousands of workers faced an uncertain future, wondering what would come next in a world without Amazon. The day Amazon vanished, America woke up to a new, uncertain reality. Neighbors gathered to share the news, families sat together in silence, and a nation accustomed to instant answers was left to wonder what the future would hold in a world forever changed. To truly grasp the shock that swept across the nation, we need to look back at Amazon's extraordinary rise, a story that began with a simple idea and a bold vision. In 1994, inside a modest garage, Amazon was born. What started as an online bookstore quickly transformed, expanding into a global marketplace and becoming the backbone of American commerce and technology. Over the years, Amazon's headquarters grew, reshaping the Seattle skyline and symbolizing the company's relentless ambition. Amazon Web Services, or AWS, quietly powered much of the internet's infrastructure. From small startups to massive corporations and even government agencies, countless organizations depended on AWS to keep their operations running smoothly and securely. Across the country, Amazon's vast network of fulfillment centers anchored local economies. These massive warehouses provided stable jobs for hundreds of thousands, supporting families and entire communities. For millions of Americans, Amazon Prime became a symbol of modern convenience, fast deliveries, endless entertainment, and exclusive deals. Alexa smart speakers became fixtures in living rooms and kitchens, changing the way people interacted with technology in their daily lives. Amazon set the gold standard for logistics, customer service, and relentless innovation. Its delivery drivers became familiar faces in neighborhoods, while advanced robotics and dedicated support teams redefined what customers could expect from an online retailer. So when Amazon announced its exit, it wasn't just another company leaving the market. It was as if a pillar of American life had been suddenly ripped away, leaving millions in disbelief and uncertainty. The void it left behind was impossible to ignore. Communities felt the loss deeply, and the absence of Amazon's presence created a sense of emptiness that rippled across the nation. The trigger? A sweeping new tariff, 40% on imports by trillion-dollar companies. The law targeted tech giants, but Amazon was hit hardest. Its global supply chain shattered, prices soared, value vanished. Executives warned they couldn't absorb the cost or pass it to consumers. The government insisted manufacture in America or pay the price. Amazon saw an existential threat, not a negotiation. Faced with impossible choices, it left. The tariffs meant to force compliance instead drove Amazon away. The crisis was far greater than anyone in Washington imagined. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Within minutes of the announcement, the world watched in disbelief as the news spread like wildfire across every screen and device. The sense of shock was palpable, rippling through boardrooms, trading floors, and living rooms alike. Amazon's exit sent global markets into freefall. Its stock and those of its partners crashed. Billions of dollars in value evaporated in a matter of hours, leaving investors and ordinary people alike scrambling to understand the magnitude of the disaster. The financial world had never seen such a sudden and catastrophic collapse from a single company. Washington erupted in panic and blame. Politicians pointed fingers, desperate to find a scapegoat, while advisors huddled in emergency meetings, trying to contain the damage. The halls of power echoed with confusion and fear. The president doubled down, insisting that America would recover, but soon faltered as unemployment soared to levels not seen in generations. The administration's confidence quickly gave way to uncertainty, as millions of newly jobless citizens demanded answers and relief. Over 1 million Amazon employees lost their jobs overnight. Offices and warehouses emptied in a matter of hours, leaving stunned workers to pack their belongings and face an uncertain future. The ripple effect was immediate, touching families and communities across the nation. Cities and towns built around fulfillment centers faced economic ruin. Once bustling industrial parks fell silent, and local economies that depended on Amazon's presence teetered on the brink of collapse. The loss was not just financial but deeply personal for countless Americans. Local businesses shuttered, real estate froze, and fear spread. Main streets that once thrived became ghost towns almost overnight, as small shops and restaurants closed their doors for good. The sense of community was replaced by anxiety and despair. Other tech giants scrambled to avoid the same fate. Boardrooms buzzed with urgent meetings as executives raced to reassure investors and employees. The entire tech sector was suddenly on edge, aware that no company was truly safe from such upheaval. Meanwhile, countries worldwide courted Amazon, eager for its jobs and investment. Foreign leaders saw opportunity in America's loss, offering incentives and rolling out the red carpet to attract the tech giant's business. The competition was fierce, and the stakes were higher than ever. The global balance of power shifted as America's loss became the world's gain. International markets rallied, welcoming Amazon's presence and the economic boost it promised. The United States, once the center of innovation and commerce, now watched as influence and prosperity flowed elsewhere. The empire unraveled in real time. News anchors delivered somber updates as city skylines dimmed and hope faded. The world had changed in a single day, and the consequences would echo for years to come. In the aftermath, America was in turmoil. Blame flew in Congress and on cable news, but the economic pain was real. No company could fill Amazon's void. Supply chains broke, prices rose, and jobs vanished. The promised manufacturing boom never came. America's reputation as a tech leader was shaken. Investors and talent looked elsewhere. The empty fulfillment centers became monuments to a costly clash of politics and business. The nation faced a hard question: was it worth it? The ghost of Amazon lingered, a warning about the price of pride.